Good day, my name is Angelo. This is Nation Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. How have we been? As for we over here, we've been doing perfectly alright. Nigeria is in chaos because lots of things are happening irregularly. Okay, and when I say irregularly, I mean these things don't occur or these things seldom occur. And as they occur, 2023 electoral season has proved to be one of the most controversial that has really rocked the political scene in Nigeria over a long period of time. Yes, there have been different issues for different reasons for rancor during different political seasons and electoral seasons. But this time around, the one in 2023 has proved to be, the worst so far. So I'll be giving exposés touching different parts of what is happening in this particular electoral season. But first of all, the Senate President, Akpabio, has been called out for the wrong reasons countless times, both on national TV, physically, and on different probing meetings, or probe meetings. To that effect, I would love to say, or I would like to bring your mind back to when he was heading the NDDC and when he was a Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, and there were different issues that were brought on board where Akpabio was accused of siphoning money or laundering billions and millions of Nigerian naira through different means. But this time around, just few months into his office as Senate President, there has been an expose talking about or revealing how the Senate President, Akpabio, allegedly laundered billions in few months as Senate President. Of course, he did this by padding 150 billion naira for himself in the just approved 2023 supplementary budget few weeks ago. And he allegedly went further to share 21.8 billion naira amongst other senators in order to clean up his mess and keep all mouths shut. This expose goes further to confirm, the recent bust-up between himself and one of the senators of the minority parties, Senator Dr. Tinubu, who challenged him few days ago or yesterday, let me say, on the fact that Senator Akpabio, the Senate President, was trying to choose a leader for the minority parties, which is not supposed to be so. All right. Yes, this was done, or this happened during the vote or the voting session for the minority leader of the House of Senate. All right. So this particular Dr. Tony Nwoye of the Labour Party couldn't take that, and he felt he had to speak up, over what they have allegedly heard that was going round. All right. And this was what was actually going round. Senator Akpabio padded 150 billion in the just recently approved supplementary budget, and he allegedly shared a whooping sum of 21.8 billion indirectly to senators to keep their mouths shut. Accusing fingers have been pointed at Senate President Akpabio over the recent bust-up during the voting of minority leaders in the House recently. During this bust-up, one of the senators of the minority party, Dr. Tony Nwoye, challenged the present Senate President, Akpabio, over him trying to choose leaders for the minority parties. To that effect, this expose goes further to say how and why these minority party members and senators spoke up in one voice to challenge the Senate President over recently heard news circulating in the Senate over some billions of naira allegedly shared between some selected senators. Senate President Akpabio allegedly padded 150 billion for himself under different headings in the 2023 supplementary budget recently passed and signed into law. He further then directed senators to nominate a supplier for rice, beans, wheat, or any grain in the amount of 200 million naira per senator. To that effect, a total of 21.8 billion naira is to cover the cost of the supplies and all other operations as regards to these grains. Sources in the National Assembly revealed that this has proved to be the biggest pardon fraud by any Senate president in the National Assembly. Further secrets revealed by the sources allege that Senator Akpabio has been planning on imposing minority leadership on the Senate to help cover his deals and reduce opposition. All right, that was the expose there. Well, Akpabio is an old politician, and for him to do this, that means he knows how to. He has done it in the past. That confirms other updates, all right? But joke aside, I would love to say that if Akpabio can pull this, that means he has a reason for being there. He did not put himself there as Senate President. Bola Tinubu did, but of course we all know this. But the truth is, he put himself there, or Bola Tinubu put him there for a purpose. And this money in this amount, or in the range of in the tune of 150 billion naira, would not be taken without the consent of somebody in the presidency. All right. Now that means this is an alleged plot. All right. 150 billion is much. Okay. In fact, running into almost 170 billion or thereabouts. All right. With the 21.8 billion he allegedly indirectly shared to senators. All right. So I don't understand. And from the last part of the expose there, you would hear that Akpabio was allegedly planning, or is actually in the plot of choosing a minority leader for the Senate, so as to find somebody who could do his biddings. No wonder Dr. Tony Nwoye of the Labour Party spoke up during the vote, or the voting session of the minority leadership sometime yesterday. That confirms why the man was shouting on top of his voice, trying to make the world know, or Nigerians know, what Akpabio is allegedly doing in the background. Second on my update is on the recent sack of the governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf, also known as Abba Gida Gida. I told you people earlier that this man is the man of the people. This man was voted into office. In fact, the only proof I always tell people is for Abba Gida Gida to come out from a minority party like the NNPP, the New Nigerian People's Party, and unseat a sitting governor, or a sitting party, let me say a sitting party, a majority party like the APC in Kano State. That means something actually happened, and that means he actually won the election landslide, and he was actually the people's choice. But how can a tribunal now sack him? For what reasons? There were funny grounds that the tribunal's, or the tribunal's judgment was centered upon. All right, but something controversial happened during the appeal court's ruling. All right, the judgment that was read by the head of the panel of the appeal court, was different from that was let out to the public space, and that was let for people to see. All right, that means there were discrepancies in that judgment from the one that was read in court and the one that was let out to the public space. To that effect, lots of people have reacted to this, and one of the people who have reacted to this is human rights activist Barrister Chidi Odinkalo. He actually had this to say about the controversy concerning the certified true copy of the judgment that appeared in the public domain over the same judgment that sacked Abba Gida Gida, the governor of Kano State. Please stay tuned for Chidi Odinkalo.
What comes to mind when you heard and saw what happened?
What do you mean by what comes to mind? Good evening, Sharon, and the colleague in studio. And thank you for having me. Sorry, I couldn't hear you to begin with because the way technology works. But I'm not quite sure what comes to mind. My mind is very clean and very clear.
So give us an understanding of what you make. If what was read in open court on Friday is different from what we now see in the certified through copy of the Kano governorship election appeal court judgment. What do you think has gone wrong?
Look, my brother, listen, this is the Nigerian judiciary. Anything is possible, isn't it? That's exactly what we see these days. I'm not one of those people who come to your studio and tell you that everything is hunky-dory with the judiciary. And the fact of the matter is that there is now ample material on the basis of which to suspect that that judgment, something wrong, certainly did happen. And you see, every judgment has three parts, okay? There is the recital of what was filed, what's in dispute, framing the issues. Then you have the discursive part, the discursive dimension of the judgment, in which the judges, the judge, as the case may be, discusses applicable law, analyzes applicable law, applies them to the issues framed, and makes their decides how they are inclined. And then you have the dispositive parts. The dispositive parts is actually will be where the judge actually says, this is how I decide, these are my findings, these are my orders, and that's the end of the matter. Now, you cannot say that the dispositive part of a judgment is an error. No judge makes an error with their dispositions and still calls that a judgment. Again, we all learn every day, and I'm learning on your program this evening, that what is said in court is really the judgment of the court and not what is in the records. That's the way law works in Nigeria. You learn every day, and in this studio this evening we are learning. I'm also learning on this particular program that you can appeal against concurring judgments. But you see, that's why I always tell you I'm not a lawyer. I come to this program as an ordinary citizen, okay? And I speak as an ordinary citizen. It's absolute new law to me that you can appeal against concurring judgments. It's new law to me that what the...
Okay, that was that. Well, he was giving his sincere opinion there, and that is it. There is no situation whatsoever to call in the issue of a typographical error here, because those things cannot be typographical errors. All right, Chidi Odinkalo has confirmed it, and that is to tell you that this particular electoral season, 2023, has proven to be one of the most corrupt, the judicially corrupt electoral season. That is what I will call it. This is a season that our judiciary have shown us how corrupt they really are, and they are still going further to show their level of corruption in different tribunals sitting in different states. Well, I hope that one day there will be a government that will prove all this. Finally, there have been reasons given for the recent sack of sack everywhere, sacking governors. There have been reasons given for the recent sack of Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang by the appeal courts. And this reason, according to John Dafan is a member of the House of Representatives from Plateau State. He is of the opinion that the People's Democratic Party's consistent disobedience of court orders led them to that particular situation in Plateau State. Well, let me make available the video of John Dafan, a member of the House of Representatives from Plateau State.
Well, thank you very much. I think first and foremost, you have laid it properly, that a consistent desire to disobey court orders by the PDP has led them to this situation. And the judgment that was pronounced, the whole of Plateau State was completely agog. The turnout of people showed clearly that there was massive acceptance of the APC and its candidates. Why I say so is because there was serious miscarriage in the process that led to the announcement of Mutfang as the elected governor this year. And now, with this upturn and the results being clearly declared that the votes that Caleb Mutfang scored were definitely not valid votes. There was a massive turnout by people all over the state. All the 17 local governments, there was no local government left that did not celebrate this decision.
All right. Well, I don't know if that is his honest opinion, but that remains well, I would not write off Caleb Mutfang because he still has a chance at the Supreme Court, and we will see what happens at the Supreme Court. So the issue in Jos and the one in the issue in Plateau State and the one in Kano State are kind of similar because this, but there is a difference. The one in Plateau State, according to John Dafan, seems to be different because the APC seems to be the people's choice. But I don't believe that. John Dafan is a partisan and is a party man, so he has to say what he has to say for things to go well. Well, we will see what happens at the Supreme Court. How corrupt the judiciary is another thing. Giving justice is another thing. So let's hope the right thing is done. Thank you so much for staying thus far. Please like and share our videos. Like them. Don't forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section so we could go viral and serve you better. See you next time. Bye.